Evening. So I'm doing my first gardening video of the year, 2021, and I did for the first time this year. I'm gardening some items in buckets and grow bags. So here we go. In front of me is a cherry bomb or cherry pepper with onions growing around it, as you can see on the right and in the center there, just growing around in the bag. Just so that I'm not wasting any space. Next one is a hatch chili with black nebula carrots growing around it. Next one is a Jedi jalapeno with dragon carrots growing next to it. The jalapeno is a hybrid of some sort, so I don't know how it'll turn out, but I'll find out. In the bucket, I'm doing herbs. This one is cilantro. Here is a grow bag of potatoes. It's one of those special ones that has a little trap door on the side there, down the bottom. I'm pointing to it with my thumb. You'll just have to take my word on that. This is marked holy basil, but that's a lie. It's just regular basil. I tried holy basil seeds and they didn't work. So I just put in a regular basil plant that I traded with somebody else for. This bucket is a red Savina chili pepper with red core carrots around the sides. Not a whole lot of the carrots sprouted. I did a full circle like the other two bins, and that's all that came up. This bucket is basil that I grew from seed, whereas the other one I transplanted a seedling. So this one did pretty well. I'm very happy with it. It's going to be a lot of spaghetti sauce and other things made with that. This is a Grenada seasoning pepper. Never heard of it before this year, but going to give it a shot. I believe it's supposed to be a mild chili, basically the one that is used to make mild paprika. And around it are Danvers carrots. In this bucket is some moss curled parsley, allegedly, and those two little sad seedlings are all that popped up after I think a month and a half. So it is what it is. This is another cilantro plant. That was a transplant, by the way. Obviously you can see the label. And this is parsley, regular old-fashioned parsley that I grew from seed. I think I put about 40 seeds in there and that's what grew. So it is what it is. In the center there is called a Cap 455, a hot pepper of some sort. I believe it's a hybrid that a friend of mine came up with. Around it are short and sweet carrots. Those might be done now. I'm going to have to pull some and find out. Not sure though. This is a Tabasco chili. Around it are rainbow carrots, so it's just all different assorted colors. So that's going to be really cool when those come up. And Tabasco is supposed to be a crazy prolific plant, so that's going to be fun too. Cucumbers, 1, 2, 3 of them are silver slicer, and this one is a green slicing cucumber. A few different kinds of cabbage. The red cabbage, as you can see, is bolting like crazy. And I think I'm just going to start eating the leaves because at this point, if they haven't sprouted, they're just going to bolt. So you can see all my lettuce. Some of it's bolting as well and flowering up really pretty, but not as good to eat like that. And this lettuce here is still edible, but not for much longer. So I'm going to start eating that quite a bit. That's black-seeded Simpson lettuce. So this guy, I think it's gonna, obviously it's a sunflower. I'm just not sure what kind because it sprouted on its own and is doing its own thing. Now, peppers. Antep Akidoma, Reza Macedonia, Poblano, another Reza Macedonia, and the one that's sprouting on the end there is a Puna Miris. That was the first one to grow this year. These two little plants with the green stakes next to them are painted pony beans. Never heard of them before, planted the seeds, they happen to grow. This one is another cherry bomb pepper. It's doing great. We've got some flowers on it already. This one and the one next to it are both CPR, a chocolate reaper chili. Still a little worried about those ones, if they're going to grow or not. We'll see, because they had a very, very rough start. The next one, little tiny guy, is a Scotch bonnet. This one I got as a trade for seeds, and he just called them Italian long hot peppers. Don't really know what they are, but gonna go and find out. This tomato is a Serbian ox heart tomato. I happen to know a Serbian guy that I met, and he gave me some of his tomatoes. That one's growing pretty good. That's a cowpea. These are, I believe these are all cowpeas in this row here. They're black-eyed peas essentially, but also known as cowpeas. And this one here is another Puna Miris. This one is an orange Corno de Toro. It had a rough start, that's why I had to stake it, as you can see with the chopstick, but it grew back pretty big so far. Another Antep Akidoma. The little guy's a Purple Bell, and the one on the end was just called a Big Red Hob, Big Red Habanero. Again, another seed that I traded for on Facebook. That's doing well so far. This guy was a red Corno de Toro. This one is just a cool looking pepper when compared to the others. It's called a Black Cobra. The stems have like a fuzzy look to them, and they're much darker than the rest. And apparently the peppers, when they come out jet black. So I'm really excited about that. That one actually did start growing for me. Next is a hybrid called a Ghostly Jalapeno. So somebody crossed a ghost pepper with a jalapeno, so that should be fun to try. This one is called a Dedo de Mocha. They come out as a round pepper, I believe. I don't know much about them. On the end there is another hatch pepper. Those are common in New Mexico and are a lot of fun to make green chili and other things like salsa. That's another Serbian oxheart tomato. And then more beans. I decided to intermix a lot of beans in with the crops this year, just to add nitrogen between the peppers and tomatoes. This one is called the Kruška pear, again from my Serbian friend. This pepper is called the Malagueta. Don't know much about it. I think it grows vertically, but I'm not sure on that. We're getting into the patch where I actually bought some more peppers from another friend who was selling chilies on Facebook. So that one's a Scorpion. That's a Dragon's Breath, Carolina Reaper, and at the end is a Ghost Pepper. This here is another Ghostly Jalapeno. You can see it's doing pretty well. It's pretty cool looking. You can see the black stems. It's just really pretty. Let's see if I can get the focus. There it goes. Just neat. I like that one. Then another Scorpion. Another Dragon's Breath. Another Reaper. Another Jedi Jalapeno at the end. Then this was called a Siljeshi. I have no idea if I'm saying that right. And this one was just called a Que Voila. My friend said, here, just plant it. I don't know what it is, but it's a tomato, so whatever. This one and this one are Dragon Cayennes. And let's see. These are a couple more beans. Then That's a Niska Sipka. So is that one. The last one on the end there is a Bulgarian short hot pepper. It's supposed to, I think it's like the Bulgarian carrot. The one on the end is called Bela Uvo, which is like a bright green bell pepper. Growing in the same spot is my horseradish. It grew like crazy last year. All I did to replant it was drop the trimmings from everything I chopped up and processed. And this is where we're at on June 17th already. So that's getting huge. It's going to be another big year for the horseradish. In here is Romanesco broccoli. It's kind of like it looks like a green cauliflower. So I don't know if it's actually going to head up for me, but I have been eating the leaves mixed in with my salads, and those have been a lot of fun and very tasty. Very strong flavor, but that's normal for the species apparently. This one and this one are green tomatillos. They have gotten huge already, and they are covered in flowers. They're absolutely everywhere. I was told that these things are prolific. That's looking to be very true. The hole in the ground that you see right there is where my pak choi was. I just ate that in a salad yesterday. It was delicious. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those 4 plants are purple tomatillos. I'm starting to wonder if I'm going to regret planting that many of them, because apparently they are prolific as well, and they are already flowering also. So we'll see how it goes. My rhubarb, we also harvested some of that, as some of you may have seen on my page. We made a strawberry rhubarb crisp and some rhubarb syrup, which was delicious. So this tomato and this tomato are Gold Jubilee. Oh, these are all the tomatoes that I grew from seed. I also grew the tomatillos. The ones on the other end are ones that people gave me. So they grew from seed too, but these are ones that I started in the basement. This one, oh, those are some red onions at the bottom there. Some more right there. A neighbor, I gave him a ghost pepper plant, and they insisted I take some red onions, so I threw them in between the tomatoes just for fun. See how they do. So this tomato and this tomato, I just trimmed up all the base of them because I'm single stemming, as you can see, and they're going to grow up this 8-foot post. Those are both Amish paste tomatoes. This one and this one are Opalka. They're a long, skinny tomato. Also great for making stews or tomato sauce or paste or things like that. Just a really, also very tasty tomato. This one and this one are yellow cherry tomatoes. I swear each of these plants will produce 300 tomatoes this year. They are absolutely insane trying to keep up with. Then 1 and 2 are Roma tomatoes. Just the classic canning tomato. Already about 4 feet tall. So those are going to be gigantic as well. And last but not least, 1 and 2 are beefsteak tomatoes. Those are just the classic sandwich tomato that my son is going to love, because we'll make many BLTs. The other end of the garden, 1, 2, 3, 4 plants of pickling cucumbers. Then along the side here, just dropped some onion sets that my neighbor gave me, and then right up along the compost heap here, drop some in there as well, just for fun to see if they grow. No idea if they will or not, but we'll find out. And then the compost heap, very boring, but brand new fence, put in yesterday. Pretty exciting. Then the other side of the Where are these? Okay. Sorry, just had to read my list. I got a cheat sheet here where I have everything written down because I certainly can't do it by memory because I'm too old. 2 more Raising Macedonia. If you've never seen that pepper, check it out online. It's really cool. It's a long, skinny pepper that has a lot of that corking around it. Just a really neat looking pepper and about the same spice level as a jalapeno, maybe a little bit hotter, but really tasty. Poblano pepper, and to the left there is another green bean. This one is another gypsy bell pepper, just another like a pointy-ended bell pepper that just is very tasty. I grew it 2 years ago and saved seeds, and most of them sprouted for me. And another bean, just because, like I said, I want to maximize growing space and make sure that some nitrogen gets into the bucket. Red Marconi pepper, again, just one I don't know anything about, never grown it before. Hopefully it does well. It's already getting some flowers, so that's good. A fairy tale eggplant. I've never grown eggplants. I'm going to try it this year. I've also got some others growing, which I'll show you later. And this one I'm trying in a bucket. The other 3 are in the ground. Another Antep Akidoma. I was told that these are they're like the size of a bell pepper, but they've got a little bit of heat to them, and I'm told that they're make an amazing addition to hot sauces. So that'll be what most of those are destined for. Another poblano pepper, because I love stuffed peppers. That's the best one for that. And this little tiny jerk who doesn't seem to want to grow is another Tabasco pepper, and around it are turnips. These germinated extremely well, and the leaves keep growing over and covering the pepper. I've pulled about 10 to 12 of the turnip plants and just ate the greens in with my salads. And I actually have pulled out 1 full turnip already from that, but I think I'm just gonna have to pull some more if I want that pepper to grow, live, and thrive. So that's that garden. That's the first video done. Give you an overview of it. Hoping it does well for me, and I'll keep you informed.